Hello, you absolute nerds. Well, we did it. Oh, and it's feeding back and I can hear myself, and we're gonna mute that. We have submitted. We are in. And actually, if we go, we'll click on entries. See just how far down we are, maybe. See, and now I actually spent a lot of time with some bug fixing, last minute things, so I haven't done anything to the page yet, and you'll see as soon as we find it. I'm interested in the snail, because I have a snail in my game as well. I think it's going to end up being in an interesting, because I think these are in order of submission, and I submitted around the 300 entries mark, and now there's how many? A lot. 1,200. So it's going to be in the middle somewhere. But I'm pretty sure I can just type in somber. Yeah, and there it is. So yeah. And then boom, there we go, kind of deal. Okay, there it was. I was looking, I was scared for a second because I looked here, I just saw somber situation, and then I saw 61 megabytes. I'm like, that's not right. That's like it was like a 99 gig, a 99 meg file. What the crap? But then, I looked at it, it's not prototype 0.06. There it is. This is the design document. And I did not do HTML5 right. HTML5 is so you can embed it and play it in I need to disable that for now because no one really needs to download that. But there it is. That's the game. And the page looks like Dookie right now. We will work on that because work on the jam. Oh, one moment. One sec.
Look, did you look?
One second. I'm actually gonna go disable that one because I just had someone call me about that one, so. Alright, we're good. I disabled it from, so actually if I go... Oh, it says 722 entries. If I type in somber now and go there, it's only the 2 files. So, awesome. Oh gosh. Anyway, I did a couple of things off stream and I got them done. So, hey, Cosmic, I'm glad you made it because I'm gonna let these 5 minutes go up. And we're gonna do a wrap up and we're gonna talk about the bugs that I fixed today off stream. And we're just gonna look at the game in general and, you know, learn. Not gonna stream super long, maybe an hour and a half, something like that, because here's the thing, I put in a mod ticket on the server because I had a question, because they were like, you know, even after the jam's over, you know, you can still work on the game, you know, update the game. But then I was like, okay, but then how do they know that we're not submitting fixes before judging starts? So I put in a ticket and I asked them that specifically, and they said just wait until judging is over and then you can update the game with other patches and stuff. So it's going to be like 2 weeks before we're able to put out a new version of the game. After the 3 minutes and 50 seconds is up, we will not be able to put updates out until after judging. And I've already put out a new version that has some fixes in it, and we'll go over those fixes after this countdown. Right now I just need a break. I got here, I fixed bugs in a 3-hour window because I got off work, sat down in this chair, and just fixed bugs. It's not like there was an enormous amount. There were like 4, but we got them handled. But let me refresh this because I don't think that's showing me the correct number. Yeah, there it is. 1,317 entries. Woo! What's under community? Oh, this is nice. Can I see this whole... I want to see this whole post. There we go. For those of you like me who didn't complete the game in time for submission, I'm here to tell you it's okay. You're not a failure. You can try again next time. It's not the end of the world. Keep learning, keep growing, and you'll get to where you want to be eventually. Just in case someone needed to hear, read this, if not just me. Yeah, that's awesome. I think we got the prototype done, and I'm very happy with the way it looks. I'm very happy with the colors and everything. After I did it and everything, I did feel like there wasn't that much game to it. It essentially was just a maze at the end of it with some hints of like some storytelling aspects, but you know, I don't know. I just wanted to make, at the beginning of this, I just really got a chuckle at the idea of making a game that was inspired by YouTube dark mode. And so I just kind of ran with that. And then it just turned into something that I actually like. I actually like the idea of a Pixel working as like the system administrator and like managing like the inner workings of the phone and stuff. 50 seconds. 50 seconds, and then we will talk about some things. Oh, I'm trying to remember up Notepad because after I get off stream, I should sleep, but what I want to do actually is go work on the look of my game page, which I will post on Twitter, and I will make a YouTube community post with the link to the game on itch after I make the page look presentable. 2, 1 submission due in, and it's in negatives. Let me see what the let's see what the Discord's doing. I feel like I should get a notification from Discord, but if I were to refresh this, would it just be voting? What? Submissions. Oh, voting ends in 13 days. 23 hours. Submission is now in progress. 1,408 entries. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games. All right, so let's look at Godot. Let's hop into Godot. And okay, so something we added. This isn't a bug. It was a bug that it wasn't there, but we did add credits. And so I mean everything was done by me pretty much, and so I just basically said that. Oh, so I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but they have a crap ton of judges. So actually, if I go back to that page, I don't think all of the judges are going to play all of the games. Because here's the thing. You got to think about how many of those are, because he's a massive streamer. So a lot of those are going to be just troll games. They're probably just going to be like GIFs or whatever. I mean, you know, probably a decent amount of them. Great. Now I've lost Firefox 99. Let's look at the judges, because he added more judges. Yeah, so all of these judges. So Admiral Baru, Bajo, John Carnage. I'm sorry, I can't name all of these because I'm dyslexic and stuff. Ludwig, Kidba, you know, excessive profanities on here and stuff. So all these people are judges, and on top of that, all of the Discord mods are judges as well, I believe. Yes. So I would imagine everybody is gonna just start playing games, and then they'll put a pool together of, like, you know, finalists. And not everybody is gonna play every game, so they'll divide the games up equally, and then the ones that each person like, they'll push into a pool that everybody else will probably play. I don't know that for sure. That's just how I would do it. But yeah, it's a lot of judges that they have. Blurg, Jerg, Murphy, but we added credits. Blade Master 12349 was the game tester, which I have to give credit. I put it in the game design document that it was a mechanic that you use the flowers to navigate around. That idea came from Blade. Blade was like, yo, it would be really cool if you just place some of those flowers that you've already made in this maze so that players can use them to, like, color code the directions that they're going. And I'm like, Blade, you're a genius. So we put them in the maze. I was like, that can be a cool mechanic. You can, you know, and that's something we'll expand on later. So I'm going to be adding over here my bug list so that I can put it in. So what did I do in this version? I added credits. That's something that I did. Where's my world? Okay, so start button, because when I was doing something else, I saw something that made me go, that makes way more sense for this game. Let's do that. And so now instead of a button, you hit this slider here to start the game. And so I like that a lot. I was not sure whether I like the, you know what, let's yeah, mute the music on stream so we can listen to the music. I didn't know if I was going to actually like having this music playing during the game. I was worried that some of the judges would just get annoyed by the music being there. So in the pause menu, there's a toggle to cut the music off. So you can cut the music off. Also, a bug was that when you move the mouse, because we have this dynamic camera, right? We have the dynamic camera. When you brought the pause menu up, the pause menu was moving with the dynamic camera. And I've just realized another bug here again is I can see 1 pixel behind the pause menu here. You see this? Yeah, if I were to make that like, look, if I were to make that like this void right there, you're still gonna see it. Nope, it's not there. What is that? That's weird. Oh, yep, there it is. It's literally 1 pixel. I just need to push a graphic up 1 pixel, but it's up now. That's the one that's going to be up there. What else did we do? Oh, this was like a short thing. This was taking a lot longer, that loading. If I go into, where's my code? Code. Visual Studio Code, you come up here. Where are you? Why are you so far down here? Oh, you are not what... There we go. I don't even remember what I was gonna show now. Oh, if I go into the title script... Here it is. So if this loading here, if I were to, I wonder if this will update live. So if I put spaces in between these dots, and then come back in here and hit, actually, let me just restart it because I don't know if it took. But it was a lot longer. That, and I just noticed in some play testing that what it was, yeah, see, it's a lot longer now. So just by taking out the spaces in between these dots, we can speed that up, and the player's not wondering why they can't interact with the thing. On the end game, the screen was not returning to the menu. Well, here's the thing. It was returning to the menu. Exported the game to an exe. I'm trying to remove this if I could remember where the debug is. There it is. So, when we exported the exe, the game was not I was not going back to the main menu. So what we've done is a temporary workaround of, on the credits here, credits play the animation automatically. We have a timer to wait 30 seconds that matches the time of the credits playing, and then after those 30 seconds are up, it just quits the game. So it just quits the game, so that the player is not left wondering, why am I staring at a blank screen? I couldn't figure out how to get it to go back to the menu, but I couldn't let the player just be like, what is going on? So it's apparent the game's over because it quits the screen. I added a secret that is something that I want to put in all of my games because I'm a big fan of the world scene appears to be invalid or corrupt. This is a known bug. So anyone who's using Godot, it just seems to get worse, however. So I need to look into really how to fix it. But if anyone is experiencing the bug in Godot of this scene is corrupt or invalid, you're going to want to go into your game files. You're going to look for that scene that's causing you trouble. So in my case, it's the world. Caps lock is on. Let me see if I can capture this window specifically to... No, hang on. I don't want to show. I think that's totally fine. So hang on. Window. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so you see here, I've searched for world, and let me just, there we go. So we know. So I've searched for world because that's the scene that's messed up here. You get these, each one will get these like random numbers at the end of it. You want to delete those. So I'm going to select all the ones that have long strings of numbers at the end of them. But you'll see that we're going to keep our world TSCN, which is our scene, and world GD is our script. But if we delete those and then I refresh, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I did not transition. Basically, you're gonna type in for your scene, and you're gonna see the world and stuff with like a bunch of numbers or whatever your scene name is with a bunch of numbers after it. You're gonna delete that. I apologize that I did not show that. Got to try to remember to scene transition properly. Oh well. So now if I fix this, let me just fix my window back. And now we can go back into Godot and open up. I open Godot C#, which is not what you want to do. You can edit Godot files in C Octothorpe. I will show y'all the Easter egg that I put in here. I am a huge fan of the thought exercise. Would you take a briefcase with $10 million in it if an immortal snail follows you around until you die, and if he touches you, you die? That I like that thought puzzle, right? And so the game and all of my games, I try to put, this is the first game I've ever done, so it's the first game it's in, but nevertheless we have, where's the little guy? Where's he hide? There he is. Look, we have the immortal snail. He is immortal. He cannot be stopped. And if the player touches him, he doesn't move. I couldn't figure out how to program it, but if the player were to wander over and touch him, it would just, a black screen would pop up saying, you touched the immortal snail, and then you die. So that little Easter egg that we'll probably program some functionality into eventually. Let's talk about some of the things we learned making this game in this game jam. We learned how to create a modular dialogue system. So we have our little dialogue system that I'm going to bring debug back up. Yes. Great. Yep. So we have our little dialogue system that is modular. So I could plug that out and I could drop it into any NPC that's set up and type in what I want them to say, and we'll be good to go. On top of that, and this is something else that I added. So I can run this real quick. I know how to do this. Snoop doop and droop droop. So we also figured out how to get them to dialogue. So because that was something that I did not know. I added that dialogue I added dialogue very early into the game because I knew that they needed to talk. We needed to talk to the NPCs. I had no clue how to make them say something different if you came back to them. That's something I need to add to all the NPCs now. Well, now we have it. Now we just know that. Actually, I can show you the code for it in a second because I just want to prove that it exists, because there's two different ways we could do it. This way is easy because we already have a variable in place for has slider. So if I talk to this guy now, you got the slider? Great! Quick! Replace the broken one. And then we win the game. But so that one was easy because we already had a variable in place that was like slider equals. The game starts with, we pull up the code, we have a global, right? Uh-oh. I fixed that. Oh no. I fixed that. Did that not take? Oh man. Oh no. I fixed that though. I gotta see if... One second. I'm going to the actual game that I uploaded. 6 is right here. And I can add it. Okay, yeah, so this is the game. Mute this for now. Let's go run through the game real quick. I'm gonna be so mad if those credits don't work. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get through this. I could have... No, I couldn't have, because I need to see... I don't have any game dev tools stuff up in here. Come on. Alright. Please be centered, because I saw that happen and then I fixed it. Maybe I just didn't hit save. Oh my god. Thank you. Oh. Okay. Woo! So why is it resetting like that? Make a note. Need to fix credit alignment. Yeah. And so I'm done with that. That will go away. And I'm done with the debugger as well. Grizz, you're back. We're just submissions are done. We've said the game. It has been submitted, and so we're just going over what we did. So we learned the modular dialogue system, right? And then something else that we learned, which we already had in place, was we learned about globals. Well, I should be specific that we learned about globals in Godot, because I knew about globals in Unreal Engine 4. But globals in Godot are very, very easy. So I've got 3 global variables, which are slider equals 0, sneak speed equals 50, and sprint speed equals 200. Now, why do I have these 3 things as global variables? Well, I have two different objects, let's say they're scenes. I have 2 different scenes that need to access this slider variable. So once you go to the shed, it makes the slider 1. So slider now equals 1. As long as slider equals 1, meaning you have a slider, you can click on the somber situation title here, and the animation will play and you'll beat the game. If you go over here and talk to this guy with a slider, he will tell you that you have a slider and you need to put it in here. If you talk to him while slider equals 0, meaning you haven't gotten the slider yet, he will have his opening dialogue. Now, the other 2 variables that I have in global are our sneak and run. The reason I have those as globals and not just local to the player script is because I wanted those values to change depending on how many people you talk to. Oh no, I didn't get to add a timer. I did all of that debugging today and I didn't get to add the timer, which is something I really wanted to add to the game for speedrunning. I'll get to add it in 2 weeks after judging, I guess. But I am glad that I added these other mechanics, which are... I kind of kept speedrunning in mind and everything, and people probably aren't going to feel as compelled to speedrun it now since I don't have a timer attached to it. But... I thought to myself, well, what's to stop a speedrunner from literally just starting the game, running right to the maze, and beating the maze because they've memorized it? The more you talk to in the game, the more is added to your sprint speed. Sneak speed never changes. I just put it here in case I wanted to do something with it later. It would already be coded in. And different people give you different amounts of sneak speed. This guy only has one line of dialogue. This little screaming dude, he only has one line of dialogue. So people could stand and like talk to him like, all day long. We'll spam him real quick. That would be the quickest. He gives you the least amount of speed. He gives you like plus 10 speed. Base speed is like 100. Sprint speed is double that, so it's 200. He gives you plus 10 speed. If you talk to Kissy twice because you talk to her and then you do the task she gives you of giving her flowers, color, and you come back and talk to her, she's going to give you like 150 speed. And then everybody else is going to give you like plus 25 speed. So if you talk to everybody in the game, you're going to accumulate much more speed to run through this maze. And so I did that to incentivize speedrunners to still talk to somebody. Like, by doing that, it's never going to be, I don't think, unless I've just not designed it wrong, it's not going to be the fastest to just immediately go for it. You're at least going to be like, talking to this guy twice and then your speed's faster or something. Not 100% sure. But yeah, we learned a lot. We learned about the big one because this is something that will be used in every game. We learned about scene transitions in Godot, so which are incredibly easy, I guess, now that I've done them. So if I have credits here, credit starts up with the preload of the scene that it's going to be sent to, which is the main menu. That's a bad example. The main menu. So the main menu starts the game, and the main menu is preloaded with our main level, which is world, and then button just sends us to the next scene or whatever else, right? And then you can just preload scenes in scenes to be able to get to them. I already kind of have it in my head as if you wanted to make like a top-down Legend of Zelda world, that you would make your overworld your main level, and then your dungeons would be separate scenes, separate world scenes, and you would just preload all of those dungeons in the world script, right? Something else we learned was I learned something. And where is it? I think it's in the pause menu. Where's the pause menu? I will never forget this now just because it's so simple. And I looked at a lot of tutorials for this. This isn't just me knowing stuff. This isn't me knowing stuff. This is just, I looked at a bunch of tutorials and I found modular things that work for me. But pause menu, it's not pause menu. Where is it? It's somewhere else. Anyway, basically, I have it written out here. But this not, basically, I could write... if I write variable equals space exclamation no space function or variable or reference, that means it is not. So it is the opposite. So if I want to make something the opposite of whatever it is currently, because we don't want to keep up with the order of it, right? If you expect something to go 1 and then 0 and then 1 and then 0, but somehow the player is able to mess up an order and it goes 1 0 1 1 and then tries to go back to 0, but it it doesn't, or whatever else, whatever the example would be. You can call the function to say, make it the opposite of whatever it currently is. And you've essentially created a switch, right? So if you're doing the button pressed, if button pressed, do the opposite of whatever it is. So that's something we learned that I'll never forget, because that's super useful, that I'll end up using a lot. We learned about using sprite sheets. We learned about the master sprite. We might have made crazy. We might have made just a little bit too big of a sprite sheet, but that's okay. I don't think it's that big a deal. We did end up using a lot of it, and I don't know if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 32, 33. Yeah. I don't know if you could have done that is a 64 by 64, so never mind. I think it looks like we probably could have organized it better, just brought them down. We might have been able to do a 32 by 32, but I don't know. Hello, sir. Kangaroo Kid. What I was going to stick around, but my internet is being sucky and it's making everything less, so maybe. Okay, well let me check and make sure that it's not my stream. Now that you say that, I seem to be fluid. Well, Grizz, if it is your internet, that's unfortunate, but I will say that because I have so much running on my computer, so many files for Photoshop and everything open, my video has been hiccuping slightly. So, but also welcome, Kangaroo Kid. Glad to have you in the chat. Glad to have you here. But Grizz, thank you for being here. Awesome to have you around the channel. We're gonna start, I don't know when, because I need a rest after this, but we're going to start doing what I actually do, which is editing. So we're going to start streaming editing sessions and stuff like that on the channel. So come back to that if you have any questions about editing, if you want to learn, visual effects or anything like that. That's what we're going to be doing. And we'll be doing more game dev stuff in the future as well. But we learned sprite sheets. We learned not just 2D animation, we learned pixel art animation. I say we did learn it. We didn't master it. That's for sure. I mean, this is pretty cool. We used references, we traced, so. Yeah, alright, I get you. I feel you. Yeah, bad internet sucks, but super glad to have you around for this long. I'm not gonna stream long. I don't know. I've been streaming for 45 minutes. I'm probably gonna go for an hour and a half. I just wanted to do a wrap up. That's what I wanted to do. Talk about some of the stuff that we learned, that kind of thing. I learned that there is a big difference between Godot 3 and Godot 4. That's awesome to hear, Grizz. And Doc is a big part of this channel as well. Me and Doc and we're going to be doing a lot of things together with some stuff he wants to do. We're going to hopefully be able to do some streams together and everything. He's always going to be on Couch Co-op, he and Blade Master both. I'm going to get more Couch Co-op. I've got a bunch lined up. This GameJam I got really into, and I wanted to do it, and so I just devoted all of my non-working time to it. So actually, if I have to edit the Couch Co-op videos, put them out anyway, that may be the next thing that I stream, is just me setting up and exporting out basically some Couch Co-op episodes to upload. But yeah, Now, what was good about learning, not just learning like the pixel art drawing and pixel art animation, I learned to do it in Photoshop, which is something that I already have. And so I know how to not just do pixel art, but I now know how. I had never done animation in Photoshop. If I wanted to do animation, I would just use Adobe Animate, because I know how to use Adobe Animate, and hope to see you at SWA again in the future, and maybe future collab on down the road. Yeah, dude, I'd be so down to collab for sure. That'd be awesome. I'll get around to SWA for sure. I mean, I make sure that if it's a big show for Doc, I try to get there for sure. It's just hard for me on the weekends if I take other work and stuff. But yeah, I need to get back over there for sure. But yeah, awesome. I would totally be down for a collab for sure. But now, talking about Adobe Animate, I am curious to what pixel art animation would be like in Adobe Animate. I wonder if I should have just done it in Adobe Animate, because I bet you that it can just export sprites out, now that I'm thinking about it. And it does onion skinning and all that kind of stuff. I should have just seen if it was better to do this whole thing in Adobe Animate. I didn't have a hard time doing it in Photoshop though, so. Oh my gosh, the flowers. Okay. The flowers, I was super proud of myself for figuring out, because nobody really had that as a mechanic to follow, and I did like a lot of Googling, and it's like how to do this, how to do that, and everything. And signals were so frustrating to me starting out on this. I hated signals with a passion. But once I figured out what was wrong with signals, and it was because I'm using an external IDE, because I want to be able to move around and still be able to, like, looking at my scene and stuff, because I was using an external IDE, that would break signals a lot very easily in Godot 4, and probably in Godot 3 as well. So knowing that I had to go in and manually connect the signals, signals changed a lot for me. And then when I understood signals and area 2Ds, I love, because I use them and understand them more. And so because there's something that familiar, I love them. But I love area 2Ds now, because that's what we built the flowers in. They're just like, the stem has an area 2D, and the bud has an area 2D, and Zell has 3 area 2Ds for his head, torso, and legs. And when one of those area 2Ds collides with one of these area 2Ds, sends a trigger, code happens, is the color of the flowers. So yeah. And that was super simple to set up once I understand some really basic mechanics. By making the bud and the stem 2 separate sprites, they could have, what direction is this? They could have all of their, hang on a sec. Why is that? No. There we go. Okay, sure, whatever. They could have all their 3 different color combinations, right? So instead of putting out all of the single color, all of the color combinations as a sprite, right? So like red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, blue, red, green, green, blue, red, green, all that kind of stuff. I just put out the singles, right, for the stem and for the flower. And then we set up a yeah, and then we just set up each one has a sprite with different stills that it can change to. So that was pretty simple, and the code is just calling for those stills, right? So what's the code? The code is on tulip bud detection area, entered area. And with groups, I was just able to set it up. So I was just able to say that, the head's red, the body is green, the pants are blue. So put those they're in the appropriately named group, and it plays the red, green, blue animation. Pretty simple. Some things we were not able to get to. Pretty lame that I did not get to the timer, because that would not have been difficult, but I was cutting it. I did put in my final patch before close of the GameJam. So I don't think I could have squeezed that timer in there, honestly. But was not able to figure out how to make the maze appear before the player. I was able to get it to be invisible, and then when the character entered an area, be visible. But while it was invisible, the player was still colliding with it. So that's not what I wanted. So that didn't work. And then that was creating some crashes and everything. So in the future, one of the things we want to try to do is try to figure out how to get the maze to appear, right? And I mean, it's a super simple game, but that's not it. World is over here. Yeah. We learned how to make a maze with tile sets and tile set collisions. I don't know why more people aren't. I don't see a lot of people using tile set collision. Maybe because it's kind of a pain to set up. It's such a better way to handle collision for your cliffs and your bounding areas and all that kind of stuff, right? So anyway, I mean, yeah, that's it. I did not think an animation that I did not get to do, and I will do for the next update, is I want to do a better animation from going from the menu screen to the game, because I originally wanted the menu to be in the game, and that you were just like looking at the menu from zoomed out, and then you hit the button, and then you zoomed in on a pixel that then played an animation that was Zell waking up. So we didn't get to that, and I didn't think that was as ambitious as what we did get to, which was this jackpot machine animation for the title here, this one. I didn't think I would be able to figure that out. But yeah, and it looked decent. I liked it. It did what I wanted it to do and everything. So, super groovy. Man. So, Godot. Great program. Obviously, there's some things that I don't like about it. I don't like not being able to have certain windows move around. Like, this is crazy to me that I either am looking at my script, or I'm looking at my 2D environment, or I'm looking at my 3D environment. I can't be looking at my script at the same time of looking at my 2D environment. That's kind of crazy to me. I don't like the idea of scenes as everything. Like, at the end of the day, I think that's just a naming convention. Scene is not an actual, like, thing, right? But coming from a video production background, having a scene, everything be in scenes, just doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, why can't I have objects? Why can't I have levels? Like, that's something that I really, really like about, like, that is a scene, right? So you could just reference everything as everything as everything. Maybe that's great. Maybe I don't fully understand the potential of that. But something that I like about Unreal is you specifically have like a level, you have a level interface, right? Or you have like just like the level asset or whatever it is. And so easily referenceable within each other, right? You just go to the next level, go to this level, go to whatever, and they're referenced easy to, right? You have objects, right? You have the player mesh or whatever else. And we have different nodes, and if I click here, it's like, or I guess are there nodes or there scenes or whatever they are. If I were to click this, it's like 2D scene, 3D scene, user interface, other node. Okay. No, okay, so these are not the scenes. That's what's tripping me up, right? The scenes are these tabs here, basically. The scene is like this conglomeration of stuff that I'm making, right? So, but I mean, everything's a scene. I mean, if I want to make a user interface scene, it's it's just a user interface. But is that still considered a scene? I think it is, because like my credits are a user interface. The pause menu is a user, and it still says it's a scene down here. So yeah, they're all scenes. I don't love scenes, but at the end of the day, it's just a naming convention, I think. Not really. They do, now that I understand it, they do work kind of a certain kind of way. Sort of. But I don't love that Godot can't seem to reference anything outside of the game file directory. So, like, you have to drag and drop everything into the editor, right? And then it copies that and places a copy in its folder directory system, which it is referencing. Which Unreal does that too. And I don't understand why game... Yeah, totally. I would be happy to run the game for you. So let me pull this up. I'm gonna run it in the debug, which I have found one bug in the debug that is not in the final one that I put up. Hang on a second, because I've got to pop it up. Debug. Here it is. So here's our main menu. Rock out some main menu music. We hit unlock. We're in the game. I'm not the biggest fan of the music that I made, so I'm just going to cut the music off. But we have a, player that walks around. The it's spreading theme is these little voids that are spreading, which if we talk to this guy over here, he explains, Zell, you're awake. Thank Richie, he's the guy that created Unix code. So the theme slider got broke mid-transition. Something must have fallen on the screen. Light mode is trying to seep in from all over. You'll need to get a new slider from the storehouse over there. So we need to get a new slider from the storehouse over there. But this is light mode essentially, right? So it's light mode and dark mode on your phone or whatever else, right? So the slider over here is broken in the middle. So light mode's trying to get in, right? Can't let it get in. So we've got to get a slider from the storehouse. What? I decided to move in here on account of it being so close to everybody. I took everything that was in here and put them in my old house. It's the house north of here, right? So I was like, we gotta go. Okay, so we gotta go north here. But this looks good. Who's this? There's another person to talk to over here. Zell! The theme switch really has my beautiful flowers looking so sad. Could you give them a little color again, please? You can hold control to slow down. Well, why would we want to hold control to slow down? It's because we're gonna walk over the flowers and create color for them. So if we want a little bit more precision, right? Maybe these are red up here. So I want a little bit more precision to make. Those are being green. Those are green. Now if I come down here and then boop, everything's good. Oh, thank you so much, Zell. Let me repay you with some advice. Whenever I find myself stuck in a place, I lean my left hand on the wall to see the path I need to take. All right. So now we got the void's growing and we can't walk through the void. So we got we might need to be getting a move on here. Oh, who's this guy? He's like, quick, Zell! Those light voids are forming a maze. If you need to get through, better run for it. You can hold shift to run. What? Well, we can hold shift to run. And look, we got the flowers here. So if we want to navigate this maze, we can use these flowers to indicate in different ways what way we've been. So I'll just make that a total blue so I know. But I know how to get through this maze because Kissy told us. Kissy told us that if we just come here with our left hand on the left wall and we just keep our left hand on the left wall, and I need to actually not get stuck on the pixels, then we will make it through the maze. And then what's going to be at the end of the maze? Well, we were supposed to go north. Your face. Oh, it's another house. You found a new slider. All right, we found a new slider, so let's go back to the thing that we know is broken. We face, hey. We're almost there. We're almost there. Oh, yep. Oh, there's a blue flower. All right, we come out. All right, and did we make it in time? Yep, nothing's blocking it, so we can say loading. Somber situation turns into dark mode. You were able to rest your eyes. And then this is the bug that I know about. This is not in the version that I uploaded to Itch. It's centered in Itch. So I don't know what happened between that and now, but that's the whole game. It's really short. It has a game loop, or it doesn't necessarily loop back, but it starts and then it happens and then it ends. So like game loop in my book, I guess. But that's prototype. Just supposed to build a prototype. It works. You can play the game all the way through. It has all the basic assets, so it's like good enough in my book. But yeah. That's what we made. Man, I appreciate that. I had a couple people play test it. Oh no, it's in. I submitted it. I submitted it 13 hours before the deadline, and then I went to bed, went to work, came back, and fixed 4 bugs and added the credits, and uploaded that patch with 13 minutes left before the deadline. That was 67 minutes ago. So, and I put in on the Discord, I put in a ticket to ask, because they said that, like, keep working on the game even after the game jam, like, add the things that you wanted to add and everything. But I'm like, they're going to take 2 weeks to judge this thing. How does that work? So I put in a ticket and I asked, and they said, to be safe, don't release any updates until judge. So I'm on a 2-week break from this game. Well, I'll work on it, but I'm not going to be able to upload anything. Awesome, dude. Yeah, all right, yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. So okay. So if you don't know, I'm not normally what's my dream game to build? I've thought about this a lot, and it would end up being like a pretty complicated, like, RTS probably. I honestly don't know. I don't have an answer to that, because, like, I have a lot of game ideas that I want to make. They're not necessarily my dream game, but they're games that I want to play with my friends. Like, I really, really like playing Vermintide 2 with my friends. So I want to make something along the lines of like Gunfire Reborn and Vermintide 2, where it's like the low poly like style of Gunfire Reborn with like the massive enemies of Vermintide 2, and you can just like with your friends just like slaying down like one hit enemies, and you just feel like a badass because you swing your sword and take 3 enemies out. And like, that's the kind of stuff I like playing with friends. But by myself, I love like Age of Empires, and I love Tarkov. I love like strategy simulators and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I would make my dream game. I would never finish, because it would be like a version of Dwarf Fortress, but in like my own world, right? That's probably because like Dwarf Fortress is great to me. There's 2 perfect games to me: Minecraft and Dwarf Fortress. Those are great. But if you don't know, if you're just joining in on the insanity that is the streams, I'm not normally a game developer. I'm gonna transition into doing some game development, because I fully believe that is the future of storytelling, one of the futures of storytelling, where it heavily lies. But I normally work in film production, and I do the YouTube stuff here, right? So I come from post-production video and stuff. So I have been using Godot, which is what I made this in. I've been using Godot for 14 days, which is when the game jam start. I had never touched Godot before the game jam, basically. Like first person Kingdom Warriors, dude, that would be dope. But let's be honest, losing is fun. The mobility of Minecraft with RL Craft, for example, is amazing. Yeah, man. And I completely agree. It's the next step in medium. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, losing is fun. I do like roguelikes a lot. You know what I love? And this is another one that I like playing with my friends. What I like to play with friends is very different from what I like to play alone. 'Cause I don't. survival games, which are some of them now are meant to be played with friends. I don't super enjoy playing survival games with friends, but survival games are like one of my favorite game genres. But Risk of Rain 2, I love playing Risk of Rain 2 with the boys, you know? Like, that was a blast. We have beat that game time and time again. But yeah, I don't know if I have like the perfect game that I want to make, because I only have just recently started thinking about games that weren't just narratives, because like coming from film and everything like that, every game that I've thought about that I wanted to make from the time that I was like 16 to 25 were all linear story games, right? They were all, single player, story based, like some of them like RPG stuff that were all like very linear, because coming from movies, I want to tell you my story my way. It's only in the last 5 years that ideas have popped into my head for games that are more open and just about the gameplay and the game mechanics and everything like that. And that's because of games that I've noticed, like Vampire Survivors and Fortnite and stuff like that. And it's finally been clicking into my head what they're doing, and like, all that kind of stuff. And what is it? What's Rockin' Stone? Deep Rock Galactic. Games like that are just, they have this interesting like gameplay loop that just keeps you back from that with like, no like main narrative or stuff like that. Notice the rise of trend in game will fat out of game composition in terms of everything around it. Risk of Rain, for example. Yeah, well, it's what's interesting also is we're entering a new era where like we don't really have the problem of people don't know how to play games, right? Like for the most part, like you had to have your tutorial, you had to have DGR2, the loop is straightforward and the rewards and all. Yeah. But like we're entering this age where like we don't need tutorials for like the vast majority of things. Like you can just pick up any shooter and you already know which button is reload, you already know which button is going to be interact. And to the point where like Russian games have become so popular that we, as gamers, for the most part, at least I've noticed, there's a difference between interact buttons between Russia and America. F is interact generally in like Russia and like other places over there. E is interact over here in America. And I feel like that's become general knowledge. Like we don't need tutorials anymore for stuff. So it's opened up this thing, I feel like, for game developers to just be like, we can make whatever we want without having to worry about the player trying to figure it out, because it's an entire generation that's grown up with games, on the iPad now and all that stuff. And so it's like game developers are getting more comfortable with creating these complicated mechanics that can like seem easy to us now as well. So it's like, it's just a whole slew of doors that are opening up. So, but yeah, it's we're in for a wild ride. I'm just gonna check the Discord because I'm getting notifications from it, making sure that the Discord isn't. Oh, secret prize revealed. What is the secret prize? To all those who competed in the 14th prior, well done. We received 1,407 submissions from the 2-week jam. If you competed, I hope you learned something about yourself, the work, or the people around you will carry this knowledge. What was the secret revealed? I missed that. Where is it? Where is that notification? It popped up on my thing. I want to see it. Secret prize revealed. Visit site. Oh, I have to go. Is this on his Twitter? Is that what it is? Ugh. I don't have Twitter on my phone. To all those, if you competed, no matter what happens now, you've won. Now begins the 2-week judge period. We have a ton of judges, and we're dividing into this to start hitting as many of your games as possible. We're going to select the top 3 games as grand prize winners and 2 runner-up winners. Okay, that's awesome. Now for the secret prize. Admiral Baru, Pirate Software, and Con Carnage threw $30,000 into a secret prize pool. The winners of this game jam will be immediately kickstarted so they can move forward with their new studio and continue to make awesome games. We hope that this lessons the burden of starting a new studio and helps you to breathe easy during the process. Thank you everyone for participating. We will be running another game jam in July 2024. $30,000. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even looked at the competition yet. I don't think we're gonna get up there for sure. Not to not have faith in myself or anything like that, but I mean, like, it's what I made was like a very simple concept, and like and like I'm a solo developer, and they should definitely be focusing on like teams of 5 people that like their game could be made into, you know, something bigger or something like that have other projects that they could actually make a game dev studio with. I mean, I have a video production studio. I do know how to start up another business. So, but yeah, and then we could make dream games that I don't have, but that I do have ideas for. So, but yeah, did you compete in the game jam at all, William? If you did, good luck to you. I'm just hoping for some good feedback. And I got, when Ludwig was announced as a judge, Ludwig is one of my favorite streamers, one of my favorite YouTubers. I love him as a producer. I think he's a fabulous producer. He's a fabulous entertainer. He is a fabulous game show host. And I just like look up to him as when the judges, and he's not guaranteed to play my game because they're splitting it up, but if he plays my game, that would be amazing. I'm probably gonna get excessive profanity. I'm probably gonna get excessive profanity playing my game, and he's gonna be like, "What is this shite? What is this? What are these colors? What is this? Mute this." But I look forward to it. It would be cool to see someone play it on stream, for sure. But oh man, all right. I think I am gonna call it here for sure. Let me just check and see if I have anybody on Twitch watching. I don't, but so I don't think I'm gonna do a raid or anything. I don't really need to do that. But I am gonna rest. That's a lie. I'm going to go over there and I am going to work on the visuals for my itch.io page. And then once I get those looking good, I will post the game's itch page to Twitter and on a community post on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed, Make sure and subscribe so you can get the community posts and see where you can play the game and play updates of the game as well. 2 weeks from now, I will release an update pack to the game, or not an update pack to the game, but I will release a patch to the game that could potentially have new content in it. So make sure you're subscribed to get those notifications. But I didn't even have music playing this whole time. But I appreciate everybody for tuning to the stream. Cosmic, if you're still here hanging out, I really appreciate you tuning in. I've enjoyed having you here, checking out the streams and everything. Please feel free to come back when we start streaming video editing and video production stuff. Feel free to ask questions on that. Grizzy, if you watch this VOD again later or whatever, those streams, you're more than welcome to come in and ask questions. And welcome to ask questions on the video editing streams. That's something I actually know about. I can answer questions on that. This I was totally learning. I didn't know what the crap I was doing. No clue. But I'm going to leave y'all with some music and an absolute lie of a screen that says the stream is starting soon, even though it definitely isn't, because it's ending. And you know, until next time, stay comfy. Bye-bye.